Hi, this is Chris, and today I'm going to be showing you guys how to farm Dragon Soul with the purpose of farming for the Experiment 12B and the Blazing Drake. Now you're going to want to do this on 10-man normal, because the drop chance is going to be the same on, either 10 or 25 normal or heroic, so just to make it easier on yourself and do it on 10-man. Starting with Morchok here, obviously this is going to be all Hunter POV, so it's going to be a little different for some of the classes, but pretty much nothing to worry about on this guy is the stomp that he's going to do. Now, that does still do a decent amount of damage. As a pet class, you can simply avoid it yourself. Just allow your pet to tank the boss and stay away, and you won't get hit by that stomp. And it's AoE damage, so your pet takes a lot less than you would. But so just be careful, stay away from your pet there and you'll be alright. Doing this as any sort of melee class, it's going to require some defensives for the stomp and definitely a bit of healing. Now for Zon'ozz here, the only thing you really have to worry about on this guy is this ball that he spawns here. Now, you can simply just bounce it back and let it hit him the one time, and not have to worry about it. If you want to probably speed the fight up a little bit, you can bounce it a few times between yourself, if you're range and have a pet. Otherwise, you won't really be able to do that. You'll just have to allow it to hit him once. But if you bounce it a few times, as much as you can safely, and then let it hit him, you'll have just a bit of a DPS bonus. Otherwise, you can just send it straight into him and continue on with the fight. Alright, Yor'sahj is also a pretty simple one. The only thing you really have to worry about are the blobs that he spawns. Now, they're not too big of a deal, because you probably burn him pretty quick, within 1 or 2 blobs spawn anyway. But when they come out, there's a couple that you might want to watch out for. Just, if you have the choice, don't let, a green and a red one go through. Just together they'll deal a little bit of damage. It's just something to deal with if you can. For any casters in here, obviously the blue one is going to take all your mana away. So you can either just kill the blob itself, or kill the void that spawns after the blob hits. That's up to you. Now you'll see here just in a second just what the void actually looks like there. So yeah, that'll that if you had mana, it would have taken all of your mana, and then you just have to blow it up to get it back. That's all it really is. Right, Hagara is probably the first one that gets kind of awkward for soloing. The reason for that is there are 2 phases that Hagara can go into, and you're probably not going to be able to burn her fast enough to avoid them. So the options are the lightning phase or the frost phase. Now, the frost phase is really quite simple to deal with, but the lightning phase, I have not found a way to solve. So this is the frost phase here, which is pretty simple. You just sort of run around the outside here, killing all 4 of these frost pillars here. Once you have those down, it'll go back into the regular phase, and you'll have a huge damage bonus for a few seconds, and you'll probably be able to finish her off right there. And I'll show you here what it would be like if you got through Lighten Phase. Now you're going to get an ad that spawns just in a second here. Once you kill that ad, it'll charge one of these little conductors. Now the problem is you have to continue that charge on to the next conductor. Now with one person, there's just no real way of doing it, and even with a pet, I tried and couldn't quite get it to reach. So the way around this, at least the only way around this that I can find, is to unfortunately reset the fight. Now, if you're someone who can just feign death, they're invis or whatnot, it'll be easy for you. Otherwise, you are probably going to have to wait until you die. Alright, Ultraxion is another one of those really awkward ones to solo. The reason being is you're going to be taking a lot of damage, and you're also going to have quite a lot of DPS. It's just going to get too out of control and too difficult if you can't kill him quick enough. Now the strat for this guy is unfortunately really going to change depending on what class you are, so the best I can do is show you how I do it as a hunter. That involves having at least 2 Spirit Beasts, both in their tanking spec, and you need to essentially be using the Spirit Beast heal on yourself, off cooldown, as well as using their last stand to allow them to survive. Now, because of the DPS requirements, I have to use a lot of consumables and whatnot. I use flasks and a potion, as well as drums of rage. Now, without those, without that extra DPS boost, it just makes it that much harder. So, I would definitely suggest using all those sorts of things. Right, so what I'm doing here is pretty much just making sure I'm healing my pet all the time, as well as, you know, making sure he keeps aggro at misdirect. Now, eventually he's just not going to be able to take it anymore because of the damage. So when he starts to get low, I pop his last stand, and pretty much my goal is to have my first pet survive until the first hour of twilight. Right, so I didn't manage to do it here, I actually forgot, but what you probably want to do is dismiss your pet during the hour of twilight, come out of it with a deterrence up, feign death, summon your second pet, and allow him to take aggro. Now, I managed to kill him quick enough because I had all my consumables, but if you didn't quite have that much damage, that's where you'd have to bring out your second pet and have him tank. Right, so Blackhorn is actually a pretty easy one. There's not much to worry about on this fight. Pretty much just, you know, take the drakes out, take the guys out when they come down, don't let the sappers through, that's about it. Alright, now Spine is where it gets fun again. This is another fight that is super awkward to solo because of the way it's made. So how I start here is I come down and take out all the tentacles, and then I just immediately roll to one side, just to get rid of the 4 amalgamations right off the bat here. Now, there's something that happens when you're soloing this is the fiery grip still happens, but it only happens every now and then. It doesn't happen near as often. You have a really long break in between them. But it can really mess you up because if you are kiting around an amalgamation and you get fiery gripped, you're not going to be able to break it before Deathwing rolls again, because when there's only one person, you're going to constantly be rolling. So long as you're not attached to the side, you're going to need to be going from side to side, back and forth, or you and the amalgamation you're kiting will simply fly off. So the way I get around that is I stay in the sort of anchor spot pretty much the whole time until I have 9 little bloods, and as long as you can heal through it, it's not that much damage staying in there. It's just easier because you don't have to be running from side to side the whole time and you know, trying to avoid flying off. So what you're able to do, as soon as you have 9, you can kill the last corruption, and then you'll be able to immediately pick up all the bloods, kill them at the same time, and then you know, bring the amalgamation close to the plate and blow the plate up. So now that I'm fire gripped, obviously I have to get my pet to break it. I'm not sure what happens if there's only one person here if you don't have a pet class. Eventually the fiery grip will run out if you have no way of breaking it, but if it does happen, obviously you're going to be completely immobilized and you won't be able to really do anything. So now that the bloods are down here, and I have to get out of the sort of anchor spot there, I need to constantly run back and forth. As you can see, I need to go back and forth from side to side. You have to get to each side within about 3-4 seconds of being at the other side, or you will roll off. So you know, gather up all the bloods with the amalgamation. As soon as he reaches 9, bring him directly to the plate and kill him there. Okay, so as soon as I have this plate off here, which is, you know, you get it off there by killing the tendon, I immediately kill all the corruptions again. That way there's less chance of me getting fiery gripped, you know, which I did there, of course. But once you have all of those corruptions down, you immediately go to one of the spots again and knock off all of the amalgamations that just spawned. Now this time you can pretty much do the same thing. Sit in the spot until you have 9 bloods, and as soon as you do, same thing as last time. Take out the corruption and you know, rinse and repeat. Okay, so I have all my bloods, and I'm getting my amalgamation, killing the bloods. Now, once you've gotten to this plate and the next plate, obviously the bloods are going to be spawning a lot faster. And the problem that poses is they can hit you and daze you if they, you know, sort of hit you from behind like that. Which, if you're slowed, you'll have a problem getting from side to side. So you really need to watch that. Even if you have all your bloods and your amalgamations at 9 stacks, you still want to be killing the bloods so you don't get overwhelmed with them, because they will start to, you know, pose a bit of a threat to you after you get too many.
Beware. 4, 3, 5.
Now, once you've gotten to the last plate, obviously knock off the amalgamations again, but this time you're just going to have so many bloods that you'll pretty much immediately be able to kill a corruption after you send the amalgamations off, and grab those bloods right away, and just kind of get it done as quickly as possible, so you're not running back and forth so much. Now, I'm sure the DBM noises have been annoying, but I find it's definitely very helpful to have them yelling at you if you do have DBM, because you get to hear the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and if you ever hear 1, you've probably taken too long to get to the opposite side, and should immediately jump in one of the sort of anchoring spots. Right, and now for the last fight. This one is not actually that bad, not near as hard as Spine. I like starting on the furthest right platform. The reason that for that is the platform all the way to the left is the one that AoEs down the little corruptions that you would otherwise have to single target. I just find that's helpful. I don't think it's a huge deal. You know, if one platform doesn't work for you, try using the other one instead. But this is the way I do it, starting from right, going all the way to left. Obviously, you know, kill the tentacle that comes up in the back right away, and then kill the other tentacle. So, you know, so long as you're killing hook enough, you probably won't even have to deal with the hemorrhage ads or anything like that. And once you've finally killed everything, and you come back, you want to make sure you come back 2 platforms over to the one where the ads actually spawn. Now, depending on how quickly you'll be able to take him out, you may or may not want to kill those fragments. If they're going to shrapnel on you more than once, I would just immediately kill them. But if you're not going to kill them, make sure you pop your little dream cooldown as soon as shrapnel is about to be cast on you. Yeah, I definitely should have killed them because I didn't realize that shrapnel was coming out again, and I got myself killed. But pretty much that. Hopefully that helped you guys out, and thanks for watching.